In January 2013, a 21-year-old college student named Elisa Lam checked into a hotel in Los Angeles. She was traveling alone, posting photos, updating her blog. Everything seemed normal. Then, she disappeared. No signs of struggle. No witnesses. No clear explanation. Guests at the hotel started complaining days later. The water pressure was low. The water looked dark. It had a strange taste. That's when hotel staff made a discovery that would shock the world. But what made this case unforgettable wasn't just how she was found. It was a surveillance video that still haunts the internet to this day. Elisa Lam was staying at the Cecil Hotel. But this wasn't just any hotel. Located in downtown Los Angeles, it had a disturbing history long before Elisa arrived. Over the decades, the hotel had been linked to multiple suicides, violent incidents, and even notorious serial killers. In the 1980s, Richard Ramirez, known as the Night Stalker, reportedly stayed there during his killing spree. Another serial killer, Jack Hunter Wedger, also stayed at the hotel while committing crimes. By the time Elisa checked in, the Cecil already had a reputation for darkness and tragedy. Some people believe that history matters. Others say it's just coincidence. But one thing is certain, this was not an ordinary place for an ordinary disappearance. On February 14, 2013, the LAPD released surveillance footage from inside an elevator at the Cecil Hotel. The video showed Elisa Lam acting in a way that immediately disturbed viewers. She steps inside the elevator, presses multiple buttons. Then suddenly, she moves to the corner, peeks outside the door, steps in and out repeatedly. The elevator door stays open far longer than normal. At one point, she appears to gesture as if she's talking to someone who isn't visible on camera. Her movements look erratic, almost fearful, or possibly confused. Then she walks out of frame, and she is never seen alive again. The footage exploded online. Millions tried to analyze it, frame by frame. Was she hiding from someone? Was someone just outside the camera's view? Or was something else happening entirely? In the days before she vanished, Elisa Lam was active online. She posted photos of bookstores, city streets, and her trip through California. At first, she was staying in a shared hostel-style room inside the Cecil Hotel. But her roommates reportedly complained about strange behavior. Shortly after, she was moved to a private room. Her family expected her daily calls. Then suddenly, the calls stopped. No updates. No messages. No checkout. Her parents flew to Los Angeles and began searching. The police reviewed security footage. And that's when they found something disturbing. A short elevator video that would soon spread across the internet and change everything. After the elevator video was released, the internet exploded with theories. Some believed she was being followed. Others said someone was just outside the camera's blind spot. Conspiracy forums suggested the video had been edited, slowed down, manipulated. Paranormal communities claimed something supernatural was happening. But investigators looked at something else. Elisa Lam had previously spoken publicly about her struggle with bipolar disorder. Authorities later suggested that she may not have been taking her prescribed medication consistently. Certain episodes can cause paranoia, confusion, and erratic behavior. Could the elevator footage have been a mental health crisis captured on camera? Or was that explanation too simple for something this strange? Days after Elisa disappeared, guests at the Cecil Hotel began complaining. The water pressure was weak. The water looked dark. Some even said it tasted strange. On February 19, a maintenance worker went to check the rooftop water tanks. What he found would shock the world. Elisa Lam's body was inside one of the tanks. The lid was closed. The tank was nearly 10 feet tall. Access required going through a locked alarm door and climbing a ladder. There were no immediate signs of violence. No clear evidence of forced entry. The biggest question became, how did she get up there? And if she climbed in herself, how was the lid closed afterward? After weeks of speculation, the Los Angeles County coroner released the official report. Elisa Lam's death was ruled an accident. The cause, drowning. Toxicology results showed small amounts of alcohol and traces of her prescribed medication. But not all of it was at therapeutic levels. Investigators concluded she likely climbed onto the roof herself through a fire escape. The water tank lids, according to some reports, were not locked at the time. Authorities suggested she may have entered the tank voluntarily during a manic episode and was unable to get out. No evidence of assault. No confirmed third-party involvement. Case closed. But for many people, the answers didn't feel complete. Even after the official ruling, people weren't convinced. If it was an accident, why did the elevator behave strangely? Why did it stay open for so long? Why did she press so many buttons? Another question, the rooftop door was reportedly alarmed. So why wasn't an alarm triggered? Some employees later stated the water tank lid was actually open when the body was discovered. That directly contradicted early media reports. Was there confusion? Misinformation? Or did the internet simply amplify every inconsistency? Over time, the case became less about facts and more about mystery. The Elisa Lam case became one of the first true crime mysteries to explode in the age of viral internet analysis. Millions watched the elevator footage. Millions formed theories. But behind every conspiracy, there was a real person. A 21-year-old student traveling alone. A young woman who openly struggled with her mental health. Was this a dark, unsolved mystery? Or a tragic accident misunderstood by the internet? Sometimes, the scariest explanation isn't supernatural. It's human vulnerability. What do you think really happened?